exciting day for us. I thought it was a great crowd. It was awesome to see the student section as alive as it was. Just about an hour before kickoff, the students started coming in. I thought they were there in force, and there's no doubt that the student section, the band, the riot squad, they have an impact on the game, and I think that'll create some momentum for us as we continue to go on this season. Question?
Kyle, what's your takeaway from this game?
The beginning of it went about how I expected it to. I think they've got a good football team. I think Coach Rell has really created an identity for them, that they really know who they want to be and what they want to do, and they play defense a certain way that they're going to give you opportunities for big plays. And it happened last week with Akron, and it happened this week with us, and I think we took advantage of some of those in the first half, and that's how you get to 31 that quickly.
Kyle, did PJ give you an added element to the offense this week? We talked about running backs catching the ball out of the backfield more.
PJ is a complete player, and that running back room, as I've said, is one of the more talented rooms on our football team. So to have PJ on a day where he doesn't run for a lot of yards, doesn't get a lot of attempts, but has 2 catches for 100 yards, and I think somebody was telling me now he's got 6 touchdowns in 2 games. He's a dynamic football player. So the more we can get him the ball in space, the better offense we're going to be, and I know Ralph knows that, and that's why it's happened.
Kyle, how would you assess your defensive performance?
I think we've got some room for improvement. There's no doubt about that. I think there's things we can do better. We'll look at it on film and see specifically what that is. Is it scheme things we can do better? Is it putting players in the right position, or do we have some players that maybe need to be playing more than some others right now? Those are all things I think we have to look at the film and decide.
Did they show you anything offensively that surprised you, or in your mind did you just not execute as well as you'd like?
I don't think they showed us anything out there that they hadn't shown on film, whether it was last year's film or the first game against Akron. They're talented. They run well. I think they've got a good offensive system. And if we can tackle a little bit better and play our defense a little bit better, I think it'll look a little bit prettier. Now, we got quite a few of the starters out of there in the fourth quarter, and that certainly adds to what it looks like, but I don't think that's I don't have any regrets about that. That to me it's important to get those second team guys in there and find out exactly what they will be able to do under pressure. It's a little bit different than practice, where when you make a mistake, the whistle blows.
I know,
when you're in a game and you make a mistake, the scoreboard changes.
I know you didn't get a chance to look at the tape yet, but what did you see, if anything, that kind of flashed from some of those second team guys when they got a chance to play in the third and fourth quarter?
What I saw is 2 running backs who I thought did a good job protecting the football, which is the most important thing to me. When they get an opportunity to play, if they don't protect the football, they're not going to get more opportunities to play. So we had one miscue, I think, with Robert, where he reached out the ball on first down, just a little bit overzealous as he carried the ball. But aside from that play, they did a nice job protecting the football. That was encouraging.
With respect to today's win, what does it mean now you're, Penn State's coming in, you're opening the Big Ten schedule. How do you feel about what that's going to be like?
You know what it means, Tyra. It means we're 1-0. And that's all we can be today is 1-0. And immediately we'll turn our sights to next week. We'll review this film tonight as coaches, but we've already got the advanced scouting done because we have people who do that for us. And we'll get to work on BSU coming in here next week. We're excited about the opportunity to open Big Ten play, to open it at home, to open it at night, to open it on BTN, and to make a great first impression.
You get the same sense from your players? What's their excitement level heading into this?
I would tell you that they're very excited.
Just the distribution by Gary. I think 7 or 8 guys had catches for you guys today.
Yeah, I don't have all the receivers here on kind of the quick stats that they give me, but 15 and 19, 282 yards. I thought it was a very efficient performance by Gary, which is what we needed. When the checkdowns were there, he took the checkdowns. When the throw to the back was there, he threw it to the back, even though he created a big play. And when he had opportunity down the field, he took them. So I just thought it was a very, very efficient performance.
Did you, I know you won't know till tomorrow, Monday, but you get out of the game healthy, you think?
I feel like we did. I sense from being on the sideline that even some guys that may have gotten a little dinged up in the game, it's nothing that'll be long-term or prevent us from getting going tomorrow night.
Kyle, do you rely on the same strategies as always, or do you think you guys are going to have to do anything different this week to tame some of that excitement or perspective in the locker room?
I think these players have played in enough of these type of games. I think that Washington State had that kind of environment. The Arkansas games the last couple of years have had that environment. The Louisville game in 2012 had that kind of environment. So we've been in that environment before. I think the excitement that's created by conference play, the opportunity to be 1-0 in conference play, the opportunity to put yourself in a position to be the Big Ten Eastern Division champions, because that's the only thing you control. I think those are all things that motivate a football team. But I think we've been in enough of those situations that we'll be able to handle.
You had some different combinations at corner, obviously, this week than last week with the injuries. Just how do you feel about where that is, the secondary, going into next week?
I know better when I look at it on film. I think, for being on the field and looking at it during the game, there's going to be some things we're going to need to correct. But I wouldn't want to say too much about it before I look at it.
Kyle, that being said about, and correctly, about being in situations before, I mean, it has to be a little different this time around, doesn't it? Because it feels like you're in your kind of permanent home now in Big Ten. And like, it's more, does it feel different, the excitement level or the anticipation level?
I think it'll be an extremely high level of excitement in the stadium. There'll be a tremendous buzz around this game because it's the first one. And anytime you do something for the first time, it's unique. So there'll be a unique kind of buzz around this game. But as we get ready for it, ultimately to us, it's a football game. It's an opportunity to be 1-0. It's an opportunity to play against a good football team. And we'll look at it on film and we'll decide where the matchups are that we think are in our favor, and we'll attack the game like that. So football teams are routine driven. And as we get back to tomorrow, there'll be excitement, but we'll get into the routine of what we do.
You talked about tackling better. When you look at the film, is it just a focus on to see if guys are maybe out of position or guys just didn't execute fundamentally? What do you kind of look at to see what was the reasoning behind that?
You look at all that. Yeah, you look at all that. You say, all right, schematically, are we in the right place? Are we using the tackling system the right way? And then you go about the business of trying to do it better.
Got time for two more.
Cal, any concerns with Federico kicking 2 out of bounds? And is there any other option there?
I was disappointed. That he did that because it was kind of a feast or famine day for Kyle. He hit some kickoffs really well. He hit 2 of them out of bounds. He hit some field goal extra points really well, and then he missed the other field goal attempt that he had. It was really it was a little bit inconsistent for him today, so that was disappointing. Long-term concerns, no. I think he's done enough that in my mind I have confidence in him. But we got to really look at it and find out why are those inconsistencies happening. What's off in his routine a little bit.
During the game, obviously, you guys got off a little bit of a slow start, but what needed for you guys to change in order to go out and win the way you guys did?
It really comes down to execution. I don't think it's any more complicated than that. I look at a little bit of the drive charts. With 3 and out the first drive, then a 12-play drive for a field goal, and then touchdown. So, slow start. We didn't get a touchdown until the 3rd drive. I don't know if that's necessarily a slow start. We just got to execute better on the first drive, and we would have had more opportunities to continue.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you.